It is book haul time. I actually have a lot of books to show you guys, like more than I'm even showing you in this video, but I've decided to make my book hauls smaller going forward. I personally prefer watching book hauls that are under 5 minutes, so my goal from now on is going to be to make book hauls that are under 5 minutes. Here we go. The first two books I have to show you guys are more literary fiction. I read Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes recently and loved it, and both of these books were recommended to me if I liked that book. The first one is Never Let Me Go by Kazu Ishiguro. I don't know much about this. I do know that it's supposed to be exquisitely written, and it follows 3 kids where they're in their boarding school years, I think also in their adult years, and I think there's like a mystery that you figure out from their boarding school years. To my knowledge, there's also like a magical element to this, or like kind of a surreal element to this. Next, I have Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. Music plays a very large role in the book, and it follows 2 main characters. It's basically just a very well-written, like character-driven novel from what I've heard from friends of mine. When I read literary fiction, I generally am looking for a character-based book, so this seems like it's gonna be right up my alley. Then I picked up Wool by Hugh Howley. Howley? There's no L in there, Ashley. Howie? This book follows a futuristic world where 1 birth equals 1 death, so when someone has a baby, someone has to die. I don't know much more about it other than that. Next, I picked up a book that I'm pretty sure almost every YA lover picked up this month. Maybe a few that don't like John Green did not, but most people probably did, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I've already read this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It follows a main character who has anxiety, and the book is very, very heavily about how she deals with her anxiety. There's a lot of other elements to this book, like there's an overarching plot, and there's a mystery, and there's a romance, there's a lot of friendship elements. All of those things were also very well done, but truthfully, the main part of this book that I care about and that I want you to understand and want you to also want to read this book for is the way that John Green wrote her anxiety is so spot on, and I feel like if you suffer from anxiety, it's nice to have a character that you can relate to, and if you don't, I feel like it's a really, really great way to understand how people who do suffer with anxiety function on a daily basis. And not everyone's anxiety is like this character's by any means. Mine is not like this character's, but it's just a good way for you to understand the general basis of how people function with anxiety. And it was so good, highly recommend, could not, just... I also picked up one other YA novel recently, and that is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I really like Adam Silvera. I've only read one of his books, which is More Happy Than Not, which I loved. I would highly recommend it. But I also love him as a human. I follow him on all of his social medias. He's fantastic. This book is exactly what it sounds like it is. It is about 2 characters who you know from the very beginning of the book are going to die at the end of the book. This is a alternate universe where there's this like place that will call you on the day that you're going to die and tell you that you're going to die that day, like that is your last day on Earth. So use it wisely. And basically, the 2 main characters of this book both get that call. I haven't read this yet, but it looks fantastic. And last but not least, I picked up Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero. One, this cover is just like gorgeous. This is like a horror fiction novel. I don't read a lot of horror, but this looks like horror that I could read. And it follows a bunch of kids that used to solve crimes, and they solved like this like really, really important crime, and then it's like years later and they're all adults, and they need to come back together for some reason, and they're all like in very different places in their lives, and one of them is a ghost and one of them can see ghosts, and it just looks like a really, really great like romp of a horror read. Like it looks like there'll be like a murder and a mystery and crime solving and whatever, but it looks like it'll be very like Scooby-Doo-esque in the way that it does it, and it looks really fun and exciting, and I'm excited about it. Okay, so those are all of the books that I showed you in this video. If you've read any of these or if you want me to read any of these soon, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know in the comments down below what books that you've recently picked up, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading. Bye!